They left her tied to the rusted rail post, dress soaked in her daughter's blood, her mouth whispering prayers no one had answered in years. The wind clawed through the abandoned train station like a scavenger. Nothing moved but the weeds, tall and brittle, swaying beneath the bleached bones of the overhang. One shutter creaked loose on its hinge. A crow shrieked. And on the platform, forgotten by God and man, she hung, wrists bound in rusted wire, head slumped forward, two small shapes curled at her feet like dropped dolls. Willa May Thatcher didn't remember falling. Only the dust, the sun, the sting of metal cutting deeper every time she tried to shift her weight. Her dress was soaked to her knees. Her voice had cracked hours ago. But the girls were still breathing. She knew it because she could feel their skin brush her bare ankles with each slow rise and fall of their ribs. Then came the sound. Hoofbeats. One rider. Not fast. Not cautious either. Just steady, like someone who'd already decided what they were going to do before they got here. She didn't lift her head. Didn't dare. Could have been Zebediah. Could have been Ruth and come back to finish it proper. Could have been someone with law. Could have been no one. Hope was dangerous like that. Boots hit dirt. Heavy. Measured. A shape shifted in front of her, casting long shadow across her face. She flinched without meaning to. The man didn't speak. Just crouched. She saw worn leather. Dust crusted along his cuffs. A scar beneath his left eye, clean and pale like a ribbon. Then she saw his eyes, gray like river stone and just as unreadable. "She yours?" he asked. She looked down. Her tongue scraped the roof of her mouth like it might rattle loose a word. "Mine?" she rasped. "They breathing?" She nodded. "Barely. Please just take them. They ain't done nothing to deserve it." The man didn't blink. Just shifted his gaze to the twins. One was curled on her side, lips cracked and blue. The other lay flat, a smear of blood on her temple. Neither moved. "Why would I leave you?" he asked flatly. Her throat worked. "Don't got time to explain. Don't need one." He reached for a knife and cut the wire from her wrists with a firm, practiced flick. Blood bloomed along her skin like ink in water. She dropped like a felled tree, knees folding beneath her. He caught her before she hit the ground. The world tilted. Her head hit his chest. She felt warmth, the beat of a heart beneath faded wool. He smelled like sweat, horsehair, and cedar smoke. One of the girls whimpered. "I ain't asking for mercy," she whispered. "Good," he said. "Ain't offering any. Just decency." The man scooped up one girl, then the other, wrapping them in his coat. He lifted Willa last, draping her gently across the saddle like she weighed no more than a sigh. Then he walked. Walked, not rode, his boots pressing tracks into the dust. The sun had begun to set when Willa came to again. Her head throbbed. Her lips were swollen, split. But there was heat, real heat. She was in a cabin. Smoke curled from a cracked stove in the corner. A low fire burned. Her girls lay beside her on a rough cot, cheeks flushed with something close to life. Steam rose from a pot. Her wrists were bandaged. He sat across the room, mending a frayed saddle strap with thread and silence. She tried to speak. Failed. Tried again. "You should have left me," she said. He didn't look up. "Didn't? You don't know what you've pulled into. Doesn't matter. You think I'm someone worth saving?" He set the strap aside. Met her gaze full on. "You're a mother who stayed tied up rather than leave her children." Her eyes stung. "My own blood left me there. I'm not your blood." "No. That's why you helped." He stood. Walked to the stove. Poured her a tin cup of hot water and offered it with hands that shook slightly. "Drink slow." She took it, fingers brushing his. "What's your name?" "Boaz Callahan." He didn't ask for hers. But she gave it anyway. "Willa May Thatcher." He nodded once as if committing it to something sacred. A silence settled, thick and tender. Outside, night folded in. The hills swallowed the last of the light, and coyotes began their song. In the days that followed, Willa did not cry. She stitched her girls' clothes with trembling fingers. She fed them broth by spoon while Boaz rode to town for quinine. When he returned, the apothecary's message came with him. "She's better off dead than causing more trouble." Willa had only nodded. She was used to that sort of gospel. The girls got better. Slowly. Esme took to following Boaz with wide eyes. Yuli didn't speak for 3 days, then broke her silence to say, "He got big hands." Boaz chuckled once. Willa hadn't heard that sound since before her husband was lowered into the earth. And still she hadn't asked why he stayed. Not really. She was afraid of what the answer might not be. Then came the sound of wagon wheels. 2 figures dismounted outside the cabin. Zebediah Holcomb and his wife Ruth Ann. Sharp-jawed. Bible thumping. Greed leaking from their eyes. Willa, Zeb called. Don't make us break the door. You belong to family, not strangers. Boaz stepped out before she could speak. Stood between them like a gate. She ain't property, he said. Ruth Ann sneered. She's blood. You don't get to keep her. She's not yours to claim. Zeb's hand went to his belt. A glint of iron. Boaz didn't flinch. You gonna shoot in front of her daughters? Ruth Ann stepped forward, eyes narrowed. She's a widow. Useless but for what she's standing on. Land's ours by marriage. No deed says so. Town will say so. Boaz stepped closer. His voice was low, final. You leave now. Or you don't walk back. There was no gunfight. Only silence. Then Ruth Ann spat. Zeb's fingers twitched. But neither moved. They backed off like wolves denied a kill. That night Willa sat by the fire. Her daughters curled on a straw mattress behind her. Boaz handed her a wool shawl. She didn't take it. Why? She asked. He said nothing. Only looked at the twins. One of them had fallen asleep holding a carved horse he'd whittled that morning. I was meant to die, she whispered. Not today. My husband's grave is barely marked. My in-laws tried to sell me like feed grain. And I tied ribbon on my girl's wrist so I'd know which one died first. Boaz didn't move. I've got nothing left, she said, barely louder than the fire's crackle. He met her eyes. You got 2 daughters. A roof. A man who ain't leaving. She stared at him. I don't need a husband, she said. I'm not offering that. Then what are you offering? He stepped forward. Held out the shawl again. His hand brushed hers. A second beginning, he said. The warmth of it, his voice, the wool, the moment, broke something in her. Not loudly. Not all at once. Just enough. She took the shawl. Pulled it around her. Sat down beside him on the floor. Outside, the wind howled through the hills. Inside, for the first time in years, she felt the quiet wasn't hollow. The fire crackled. One of the twins stirred in her sleep and murmured, Mama? Willa looked up at the man beside her. Boaz. Yeah. Thank you. He didn't answer. Just nodded once, slow as if to say I see you now. And for now, that was enough. Which city are you watching our video from? Please leave a comment. Please subscribe to the channel as well, thank you.